All right, today we're diving into the life and career of Susanna Hoffs, a musician, singer, actress, and even a novelist. She's probably best known as a member of the Bangles, the all-female rock band that gave us unforgettable hits like Eternal Flame and Walk Like an Egyptian. But there's so much more to her story. Let's start from the beginning. Tell us a bit about her early life and what initially drew her into music.
Susanna Hoffs was born in Los Angeles in 1959 into a creative and intellectual family. Her mother was a filmmaker, and her father was a psychoanalyst. Interestingly, her upbringing blended secular and religious elements, her father being more secular, while her mother had a traditional Jewish influence. Susanna showed an early interest in performing arts, taking ballet and learning guitar as a child. While attending the University of California, Berkeley, she majored in art, but switched between dance, theater, and film. Her artistic exploration pushed her towards music after attending a few pivotal shows, including the final Sex Pistols concert, which was somewhat of a revelation for her.
That's fascinating. The mix of those cultural influences must have played a role in shaping her as an artist. So how did her journey with the Bangles begin?
Her path to forming the Bangles is an interesting mix of serendipity and determination. While still at UC Berkeley, she formed a band with her then-boyfriend called the Psychiatrists, but it didn't lead to much. After moving back to LA, she connected with sisters Vicki and Debbi Peterson. Some accounts say she answered an ad looking for bandmates, while others suggest she posted her own ad. Either way, the trio originally started as the Bangs in Susanna's parents' garage, but had to change their name to the Bangles after a copyright issue. They shared a love for 60s rock and pop, taking inspiration from bands like the Beatles and the Hollies. It wasn't long before they signed to Columbia Records.
A parent's garage turned starting point for a band. That's how so many iconic legends start. But the Bangles weren't just any rock band. They had massive commercial success. Tell us about their breakout moments.
Their big break came with their second album, Different Light, in 1986. That album featured Manic Monday, which was actually written by Prince for them. The song hit number 2 on the charts, and then they followed that up with Walk Like an Egyptian, which was a worldwide phenomenon and skyrocketed to number 1 in several countries. It wasn't just their music. Susanna's presence in their videos, particularly her playful eye movement in Walk Like an Egyptian, turned her into a fan favorite and added to her celebrity status.
Yeah, those songs really put them on the map. But it sounds like their journey wasn't without challenges, particularly within the group dynamics. What happened there?
Like many bands, the Bangles faced challenges as they grew more successful. There was some tension among band members, partly because a lot of the public attention focused on Susanna. People assumed she was the lead singer, even though all 4 members regularly took on lead vocals. That misperception created strain. Add to that the stress of touring and the fact that their biggest hits were often songs written by others, and you can see how it became difficult to sustain the unity of the group. By 1989, after the release of their third album, Everything, the band decided to split. But as we all know, that wasn't the end.
Bands breaking up due to those dynamics. Totally understandable, but it must have been tough. So, what direction did Susanna take once the Bangles disbanded?
She launched her solo career with albums like When You're a Boy in 1991 and Susanna Hoffs in 1996, though neither reached the heights of her work with the Bangles. That said, her single My Side of the Bed made it into the Billboard Top 40. She also explored acting, starring in movies like The All-Nighter, directed by her mother. And then there's Ming T, a faux British band she formed with Mike Myers and Matthew Sweet, which famously appeared in the Austin Powers movies.
Ming T. That's such a quirky and fun chapter in her career. And speaking of Matthew Sweet, didn't she and Sweet collaborate on something else?
Absolutely. Starting in 2006, she and Matthew Sweet released a series of albums under the Under the Covers banner. These albums showcased covers of songs from the 60s, 70s, and even the 80s. It was a fascinating project because it highlighted Susanna's deep appreciation and understanding of musical history while exposing younger listeners to classics.
I love artists who pay homage to the music that inspired them, But music isn't the only creative outlet she's pursued. She wrote a novel recently, right?
Yes, in 2023, she published her debut novel, This Bird Has Flown. It's a romantic comedy about a struggling musician, and it drew heavily from her experiences in the music world. Critics received it warmly, and Universal Pictures even bought the rights for a film adaptation. Writing the book showed yet another dimension of her artistic talent.
It's amazing how she moves seamlessly between music, acting, and now writing. And there's also the revival of the Bangles. What brought the band back together?
In the late 90s, Susanna initiated contact with the other members to reunite. They started performing again and even produced new music, releasing albums like Doll Revolution in 2003 and Sweetheart of the Sun in 2011. They emphasized collaboration this time around, reflecting on what they'd learned during their time apart.
It sounds like she's had such a rich and varied career, not just in music, but across so many areas of creative expression. What would you say is her lasting impact or legacy in the music world?
The Bangles broke boundaries as one of the most successful all-female rock bands of their time. Susanna herself represents a multifaceted artist who's embraced different forms of creativity, whether through her music, storytelling, or acting. She's also inspired numerous women in rock to take ownership of their music and image, paving the way for future female-fronted bands. That versatility and commitment to artistry make her an enduring icon.
That's beautifully put. Her story is a testament to following your passions wherever they might lead. Thanks for walking us through Susanna Hoffs' incredible journey. It's been a pleasure.